So during my time on rector mayor, no doubt that I was following Father Becky. Father Becky, my predecessor, the last 2 years has been very ill because of a tumor in the brain. For that reason, practically he has given up. And my first idea when I was elected rector mayor is to move forward the original plan of animation and government done by him. He was very clear about which was, according to him, the best challenges of the challenge of the congregation. He said that community was the most important question. He said, we are solving a lot of educational, pastoral, social problems, but we are not taking very good care of one of the essential elements of the Salesian Caris, which is community. For that reason, in part, since the first moment, I tried to consolidate the communities and to accompany the formation of the rectors as the animators of that. Anyway, among the most significant achievements was, first of all, the supporting of growth and consolidation of the Africa project. In fact, I celebrated the 25th anniversary of that project, which now is something miraculous because we are already in 42 of 46 countries of all Africa. But at the same time, the situation in Europe, we're becoming more and more needy of personnel. For that reason, at that moment, I launched the Europa project, which is quite different, because in Africa, the main purpose was the implantation of the Salesian charism. Instead, in Europe, was to revive, to reawaken Don Bosco's charism in a very different situation. At the same time, it was necessary to give a kind of accompaniment to a presence in China, because we are in Taiwan, in Hong Kong, in Macau. We have two presences in continental China. No? For that reason, I started with Don Bosco services. Defining the identity of the Salesian University Institutes, because maybe very few Salesians know that we have more than 70 universities in the whole congregation, and we were not very well known for our presence in this area. Usually we consider the universities for the Jesuits, for the Dominicans, not for us. In the time of Don Becky, they had started to come out, but now we have 76. So for that reason, I wanted to help all the Salesian universities to define exactly what we wanted to do with that presence. No? And for that reason, it was important the university project, the social extension, and so on. That was very important, and I am very happy that my successor, first of all, Father Angel, now Father Fabio Attar, they continue exactly the same accompaniment. One of the most significant points was no doubt the Congress, International Congress about preventive system and human rights, because it was the moment in which we were invited to abandon a certain paternalistic way of understanding the work for the street children or for the most vulnerable, instead of helping them to be empowered to take in their own hands their own life.
During this tenure that you had, definitely connected to the youth ministry, you had various initiatives. Some of them you mentioned already, but you were also faced with challenges. And during the process of addressing those challenges, what are some of the cultural differences that you found among the ministry that we carry out for the youth?
According to me, the greatest challenge is a true inculturation of the caris and also of our pedagogical system, which means to be very full inserted, immersed in the different cultures. Otherwise, we don't understand the way of thinking, the way of being, the way of relating, the way of living, and therefore our responses do not correspond exactly. There is the danger that we may much more on a transculturation. What does it mean? That we transfer European or Western values instead of help them to express the richness according to their values, no? Without losing our Salesian identity. Added to this is knowledge of the political, economic, and religious situation. Because in some contexts, the greatest challenge is, for example, the religious poverty in Europe. In other contexts, for example, is the cultural poverty, Africa. And others is poverty. For that reason, it was important at the same time of knowing the culture to know very well the context at the three different levels, social, political, and religious. And this means that the Salesians must respond to the true needs and expectations of the young people in whatever culture, in whatever context in which they are. If we are in Asia, South Asia, Africa, America, Latin America, United States, Europe, of course, the challenges, opportunities are different.